Welcome to Know Your Facts. And today I'm your host Ali Nasir, and with me is international economist joining us from Kuala Lumpur, Mr. Shan Saeed. Welcome, Shan.
Thank you, Ali Nasir. Thank you for having me in your show. It is wonderful to be back on your prestigious show.
I have some very interesting questions for you today. Are you ready?
I'm absolutely fine. I'm ready for that.
First, as you are well aware, most of our listeners may not have been watching our programs in the past, but some of them would have heard, read, and listened to your views about gold. And I think me and you have always been very bullish about gold. We have been spot on. And I don't want to spite anyone, but I want to be very clear where others failed in predicting this gold rally, you and I were proven correct.
Yes, I think God has been kind to us. We have got people who are 10 times smarter than us in our networking. And at the end of the day, it's all about you and I and anybody have same access to information. It's all about how you make interpretation of that data, how you make interpretation of that raw data or the information that you have, so that people who are listening to you, they actually benefit from you economically and they make smart decisions for their asset portfolio. You and I, we have been talking about tangible assets for a very long time. I know you since 2008, which almost like 17 years that we know each other. And I know for a fact that you are a strong believer of tangible assets. When I talk about tangible assets, I'm talking about real estate, gold, silver, agriculture, luxury products, oil, and gas. So, Ali Nasir, at the start of the year, I made a statement in Malaysian newspaper that gold will be trading between 3,000 and $5,000 per ounce. And right now, when I speak to you, gold is trading at over 4050 dollar per ounce. So it's almost up 55% YTD. So many people often ask me, how do you make this call? I said I talk to a lot of people in my networking, including you and many others globally. And after discussing and after having discourse with all these smart, intelligent, perspicacious, sagacious, erudite people, I come up with this call which I share in press and media, and I put my neck online. I always think that my call will go right on the dot, but I also expect that my calls can go wrong as well. So you have to see both sides of the coin. That is very important because in the past I have also made wrong calls, and I'm very confident in saying, to me, when I go and speak in public, I also say that I've also made wrong calls along with the right calls. So yes, gold is up. We are back in the 1970s era. You and I, we have been discussing about stagflation when nobody was talking about it. In the era of stagflation, most of those sophisticated and smart investors like you and many others, they took position in tangible assets. So I think gold has got a lot of potential to the upside, and it will continue for the next 5 years. I wouldn't be surprised, and I'm making this call in your program, that gold will be touching $10,000 per ounce in the next 5 years.
Are you sure about this very, very bold claim that you have made?
Ali, it can happen even before that. It is based on the premise that geopolitical risk is getting stronger and it is making a huge impact on the market. US dollar has lost 8% of its value YTD. US dollar has gained strength in the last 1 week or so. But I still foresee that Fed will continue to cut rates. Once Fed will start cutting rates in 2026, then we will see further boost to US dollar. And third, central banks have started buying gold. If you recall, Ali, you and I have been discussing from 1976 to 1982, most of the gold was bought by central banks. In 1980s, gold was carrying 20% of its weight in the share of asset classes. Today it stands at 5%. So I think gold, because central banks have started entering into the market since 2022, gold will continue to have an upsurge. And as you know, when central banks they walk into this asset class, we are not talking about $100. We are not talking about 1,000 or $10,000. We are talking about they are buying in billions of dollars. So once central banks who have become a major player in the gold market, they enter into the market. It's a positive signal to this asset class. So I think we will continue to witness a vertiginous levels of gold in the next 3 to 5 years.
I'm I'm really very unsure as to whether I should agree with you on such a high prediction for gold. But you've been right before, so really speaking, I would like to make a doubt on this claim. I'll get back to something which is very pressing and important right now, and that is the Bitcoin. And many people had been saying that this is digital gold. I am not of the same opinion. I believe that it is certainly the digital asset has value because people have assigned it a value. And I'm not really sure about the intrinsic value of Bitcoin. But since many people like Kiyosaki tend to be very bullish about Bitcoin, but suddenly we've seen a downturn in the market. We've seen it falling very sharply. What are your comments on it?
Yes, Ali, I am with you. We are more or less on the same page when it comes to Bitcoin. The question that I normally ask, what is the intrinsic value of Bitcoin? So nobody has given me the right answer of this Bitcoin. Yes, most of those sophisticated investors they want to control their own financial destiny, and they want to be controlling the price, or they are excited to be independent without getting dictation from any of their financial analysts, or those private bankers. So Bitcoin is down 30% YTD. It has erased all the gains it gathered in 2025. So a lot of people I have come across, they are saying that Bitcoin might go down further and it will take an upsurge. So there are few rumors in the market. There are few people who are talking about it that it might touch 50,000 or 60,000 again. And from that level, once it bottoms out, it will go up again and it might touch $300,000. So the range is quite big from $50,000 to 300 $300,000. And a lot of people I've come across, when people are making money, the human behavior is very different. You can see the emotional theatrics, you can see the irrational exuberance, and once they start, the pendulum swings, and once they start on the other side of the asset where the prices are going down, you can see a sense of despondency. People are crestfallen, people are sad. I would say there's an air of melancholy. So people they don't know how to defend themselves. Let's say if I take a position in Bitcoin and I bought it at 70,000, and suddenly the Bitcoin goes from 70,000 to $126,000, and then from $126,000 it comes down to right now $85,000. I don't know how to defend myself. So, for example, I just tell my friends, oh, I'm very sad, I'm crestfallen and I'm dejected. I don't know how low Bitcoin will eventually go. So, I have come across many wiseacres who have taken position in Bitcoin. They feel they know everything under the sun, which might be good for them. I normally tell them, good luck to you. But it's a very risky asset class, and people have assigned, as you said, people have assigned value to it. They have started calling Bitcoin as an asset class. I don't know how do you assign a variable an asset class when it swings too much, and it has got no intrinsic value, what you just mentioned in your discourse right now. So I really don't really follow Bitcoin. I just read Wall Street Journal and Financial Times every day, and I see a lot of movement, and then I get messages from various people who would talk about it. So Bitcoin right now is in the downturn, but I think it will turn around once it bottoms out.
I think a lot of people would like to hear your views about what is going on around the world in the economy. And since we're just going to be very short on time, I'd ask you to just wrap it up in about a minute or a couple of minutes.
Ali, we are back in the era of 1970s. If you carefully regurgitate the era of 1970s, you can draw a lot of analogies with tapestry of events, Yom Kippur War, oil touching Arab embargo, oil touching vertiginous levels, gold going high, central banks buying gold, a dollar taking a debasement, geopolitical risk. Fast forward 2025, we are more or less in the same position. 40% of the global economy right now is still in stagflation. Inflation is here to stay in advanced economies for the next 3 to 5 years. How do you protect your asset? How do you protect your wealth? How do you preserve your wealth? You take position in tangible assets. And most of those sophisticated and smart investors who fathom history and economics, they are taking position in tangible assets. That's the way forward.
Fantastic. I think we had a wonderful show today. I've been very impressed by many of your views. You know, we have disagreements, but I think on most of
Absolutely.
the things that we talked about today, I think I found them very, very interesting. And I would request you that we should continue this program on a regular basis. In fact, I think that if we can just reduce it down to about, let's say, 10 minutes, we should do it not once a week, but I think we should do it twice a week. Because I think a lot of people would like to hear your views. And most importantly, if we try to keep it really compact about very
I
successful.
think.
I'm very grateful to you for joining the show today.
Thank you, Ali Nasir, for having me in your show.